Hi, I'm Reno Lovison, executive producer at authorsbroadcast.com. And I'm very excited to be here today to introduce what is our 24th episode. That means this is our 2-year anniversary of producing Authors Showcase. I think it's really been great that we've been able to give voice to independent authors, and that's really what has been the driving force behind doing this show. And my reasoning, the reason that I started doing the show was, first of all, at authorsbroadcast.com, we produce and display book video trailers. For those of you that aren't familiar with that, book video trailers are short videos, usually less than a minute, certainly less than 2 minutes, that tell you a little bit about a book and its author and help you to get emotionally involved in that book. Since we've been producing book trailers, it's given us an opportunity to showcase a lot of independent authors. And I wanted to use the show as a way to broaden out that audience a little bit. Most of the authors typically will use their book trailer on their website. That's where it has the most value. Another thing that we do is to showcase the book trailers on our website, authorsbroadcast.com. So one of the things I wanted to do in this episode was I wanted to try to stimulate a little bit of viewer feedback and try to get an idea of who our audience is, who's watching the show, what you're getting out of it, are you enjoying it, is it valuable to you? So what we'd like to know is, are you an author? Are you a reader, an avid reader? So if you can, help us to get a little of that feedback, that would be great, and it would give us an opportunity to improve the show and also to have more of a two-way conversation with our audience. So some of the ways that you can do that, first of all, the easiest way that you can get a hold of me personally is to send me an email at reno@authorsbroadcast.com. And I'll put that right here below where you can take a look at it. So you can simply send an email to reno@authorsbroadcast.com. Since maybe some of you aren't avid email users, or maybe it's inconvenient for you to send me an email, or maybe you just prefer to talk, feel free to give me a call. I will put a telephone number again right here, a telephone number that will allow you to give me a call and leave me a message. And what I'd like to know, and whether it's by email or by telephone, is I'd like to know, are you a regular viewer of the show? Did you just happen on it this month, or have you seen it before? Are you an author, or are you a reader? You can tell me things like a book that you've read that you liked, or whether you found a book as part of this program that you liked. That would be interesting. Or just give me a review about a book that you're reading, and maybe I'll use that on the show. So you can do that either by sending an email to reno@authorsbroadcast.com, or you can pick up the phone and call me at this number right here, and I'll get your message and I'll listen to it, and we'll have a little communication that way. Another thing that I'm sort of very excited to tell you about is we've recently developed a new app for both iPhone and Android. And that app will give you the opportunity to watch Authors Showcase programs right on your smartphone. It also will give you the opportunity to communicate with us. It'll give you the opportunity to look at book trailers that we've produced. And one of the things that I'm really excited about is we are including a calendar of events that will tell you what book events are happening not only around Chicago, but also on a national basis. So even though we're based in Chicago, and a lot of the authors that we talk to and a lot of the events that we attend are in the Chicago area, certainly in the Midwest area, we do feel like we're trying to reach out to a national audience. So if you're outside of Chicago and you're watching this on the internet, we're reaching out to you too. And one of the ways we're doing that is via the app, where you can have access to the show more conveniently, and also to provide this comprehensive list of book events. And I think that's going to be helpful to both our authors who are interested in what we have to offer, and also the readers who are looking for new books and looking to connect with new independent authors. So that's a big part of what our show is about, connecting with new books and new independent authors. So why don't we take a break right here and let me show you a book trailer. This is one we recently produced, and it's called Sexual Enlightenment. It has a sort of provocative title, but it's really how to get more out of your personal relationships. And it's a title that we just recently produced a book trailer for, and I think it's something that you might enjoy seeing more about or hearing more about. So let's take a look at that book trailer right now. Sexual Enlightenment provides a guide for anyone looking to bring lasting fulfillment into their lives, relationships, and work. Introducing cutting-edge principles and inspiring practices of how to access innate creative energy. Listen to the wisdom of the heart and connect with the power of the conscious mind. The authors offer a roadmap that can alter and enlighten the way you look at sexual energy, love, and your conscious self. Access peace and joy anytime and anywhere by calming the unending chatter in your mind. Bring pleasure into your daily life by tapping into your creative life force energy. Come into balance, creating the life and relationships you always wanted. Now available at Amazon.com, Tantranova.com, and fine bookstores everywhere. Talking to you. I hope you enjoyed that book trailer. It was one that we recently produced, and it's also produced, and it is also a book that's been written by two local Chicago authors. So I think it's something you might want to take a look at and maybe learn a little bit more about by going to our website, authorsbroadcast.com, or going to the Sexual Enlightenment website as well. And I think, since this is our 24th episode, and this is our 2-year anniversary, and it happens to fall in February, that's why I thought I would lead off with that book. And I think to keep up on the trend of personal relationships, I think I'm going to show you one more book about personal relationships. And this is a book trailer by two women out of New York. And I think it's a very interesting book called Boys Before Business, and it's really about how to have both a meaningful relationship and also try to get your business life in order. And I think these two ladies pretty much have it together. So let's take a look at this book trailer called Boys Before Business. Are you successful in every area of your life, but feel unlucky in love? You can have that wonderful relationship you've been dreaming of and still thrive in your professional life. In fact, having the relationship of your dreams may actually catapult your career to the next level. For years, authors Jennifer Wilkoff and Kimberly Mills were both on the fast track and climbing the corporate ladder. Jen and Kim achieved great success, received professional accolades and recognition, but did not have that special someone to share it with. Realizing many of their friends were in the same boat, they thought, how could so many women have great careers but not have the great love of their lives too? Why was this eluding them? Convinced that something needed to be done, they set out to find the answer and the men of their dreams. The great news is Kimberly and Jennifer have cracked the code and reveal everything they've learned in their book, Boys Before Business, the Single Girl's Guide to Having It All. Available wherever books are sold. Great. So there's a couple of personal relationship book trailers, 2 in a row there, and I think I'm gonna change it up a little bit right now, and I'm going to introduce you to a whole different genre of books and another local Chicago author. Connie Corcoran Wilson. Connie is a good friend of mine, and we're both members of the Midwest Writers Association, where I came to first meet Connie. And she is a very disturbing and dark writer. She writes along the line of Stephen King with books that are, I guess, thrillers based on teenage subjects who she has quite a bit of insight about, having been a teacher for over 30 years and working with a lot of teenagers. She took a lot of this information that she learned from them and decided to create a couple of really kind of interesting books, thrillers, in part of what she calls the Color of Evil series. And I have the pleasure of working on a new book trailer right now, which you will probably be able to see next month. And that book is going to be called Khaki Equals Killer. And again, coming back to this idea of color. There's the color of evil, and there is also red is for rage. So each of her books have some sort of colorful theme to them. I think what I'm going to do now, I think I'm going to show you Red is for Rage. Color of Evil has been on many times in the past year or two. And I think I'm going to show you Red is for Rage to set you up to be excited to see next month the book that we're going to show, which will be called Khaki Equals Killer. Okay, let's take a look at Red is for Rage.
Rage runs red in the small Iowa town of Cedar Falls, where beautiful high school senior Jenny San Giovanni has an ex-boyfriend with a bad temper. Classmate Tad McGreevy possesses a special gift. He sees auras around others that tell him whether they are good or evil. While asleep, Tad suffers vivid and violent nightmares where he relives the crimes of the evildoers. When best buddy Stevie Scranton goes missing, Tad vows to do everything he can to find him. Now he must learn to control his paranormal powers to save the ones he loves. Enlisting the help of a retired policeman and a group of volunteers, this ragtag team of detectives discovers a monstrous evil more sinister than anyone could imagine. Red is for Rage is the second novel in the award-winning Color of Evil series by Connie Corcoran Wilson. William F. Nolan says of Wilson, "She's good, damn good." Red is for Rage by Connie Corcoran Wilson is available online and at your favorite bookseller.
All right, so gee, I hope that got you a little bit interested to take a look at what Connie Corcoran Wilson has to offer and take a look at Red is for Rage. Here's another book. I think we'll, for the moment, stay with this theme of teenagers, because this is a book trailer we just recently completed. And it's another book about teenagers, but this one is called The CIA Psychic Teens. And it's sort of based on a true concept that the CIA actually did hire psychics during the Cold War to see if they can root out information about what the Russians were up to. And so in this particular book, the author decided to say, well, gee, what if it turned out that some of those psychics were teenagers, and what kind of experiences would they have, and how would that change what they do, and so on. So he wrote a very interesting book called The CIA Psychic Teens. So let's take a look at that. This is kind of a cool looking book too.
This book is based on a true story of CIA psychic spies. In the 1970s, the US and the Soviet Union were locked in the throes of a fierce Cold War. Each country pushed hard for even the slightest advantage that could tip the scales of nuclear war in its favor. After discovering the Soviets were using psychic spies, the CIA tested over 30 million people, leading them to 6 special teams who were recruited for their psychic abilities that soon made them the top intelligence team in the US. 16-year-old Aurora can read auras and uses this ability to save President Ford's life by identifying would-be assassins. As part of her cover, she plays the love interest of a young Marine assigned to guide the team and who she fantasizes about marrying. Becky and Alyssa use their telepathic powers to outwit an evil North Korean psychic and save a US naval vessel and its crew. Another group of young psychic agents uncover the secrets of Area 51 when they receive telepathic pleas from an alien being held captive at the highly secret base. Thrust into the seedy, dangerous, and devious world of espionage, the teenage psychics prove to be very effective spies. They are invited to attend national security meetings and were awarded 2 medals for service to their nation. This is the fascinating story of their struggle to gain respect and appreciation. Get your copy of The CIA Psychic Teens today at Amazon.com.
All right, so what did you think about that? That was the CIA Psychic Teens. If that looked like an interesting book, or if Connie's Color of Evil series looked interesting to you, let me know. Give us some feedback. Give me a email at reno@authorsbroadcast.com, or send me a tweet. You can tweet to me by sending your tweet to @RenoWeb. I produce video in the Chicago area, and Reno Web is my core business, my video business. So if you want to take a look at some other videos that I do, you can take a look over there at renoweb.net and see some other videos. If you want to send me a tweet, you can just go ahead and tweet to me at RenoWeb. You can also send me an email at reno@authorsbroadcast.com. I'll put that right here along with this telephone number, which I'm also going to put there, where you can, if you want to, pick up the phone and give me a call. Also, I'd love for you to take a look at our videos at YouTube. We are at youtube.com/authorsbroadcast, and that's another way that you can connect with us. And if you go to YouTube, we'd love for you to subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel. If you have a Google Plus account or you're a Google user, you can automatically subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can leave comments and suggestions at YouTube as well. So there's a number of different ways you can connect with us. And I guess this would be a good time to mention that you can also find us at Facebook. So you can go to facebook.com/authorsbroadcast and take a look at what we post there. A lot of interesting things for authors and readers at facebook.com/authorsbroadcast. So this is our 2-year anniversary, our 24th episode that we're doing of Authors Showcase. And so I thought I would devote this episode to showcasing some of the book trailers that we've produced, and also encouraging our viewers to connect with us. So that's really what I'm trying to do here, is try to get you to reach out and connect with us in any way that makes sense. And of course, that includes checking out our new app, the Authors Broadcast app. So if you go to iTunes or Google Play, and you have a smartphone, you probably know how to do this. Just go there and search Authors Broadcast, 2 words, and our app will come up, and you can download that. You can watch Authors Showcase episodes through the app, and you can also check out the calendar of events and some of the other interesting information that we have on the app. Let's take a look at another book trailer now. Let's change genre a little bit and get away from these creepy Connie Corcoran Wilson Color of Evil series. And what else did we look at? We looked at some personal relationship books. But let's take a look at an interesting book that, again, is a woman, Carol Marshall, who is originally from Chicago but is now living in the Northwest, and she's written a book called Reading to Jane, and I think it's a very nice book about a grandfather and grandson who take a cross-country trip. And I think it's got an interesting twist to it, and I'm not going to tell you too much about it. I'll let the book trailer tell you about it. So let's take a look at this book trailer called Reading to Jane. An aged widower with an acute awareness of his own mental decline is being moved across country at his daughter's insistence. Instead of flying, he chooses to join his grandson on a 3,000-mile road trip that includes daily readings to an urn of ashes, and for the 2 travelers becomes a spiritual journey of self-discovery and harsh realities. A must-read roller coaster of emotions, a cathartic tale of spiritual alignment and personal growth. Reading to Jane is an amazing story of loss and grief and the recovery that accompanies it. A fast read that is thought-provoking, funny, heartwarming, and uncannily familiar. The reader becomes part of the family, going along for a physical and symbolic journey with unlikely companions, each with their own tragic past. En route at campgrounds and rest stops, the cross-country travelers meet several colorful characters and eventually befriend a woman who is coping with an unspeakable tragedy that causes her to question her most deeply held beliefs. Her growing anger ultimately forces her to confront the demons of her past. Reading to Jane combines the reality of aging, the brashness of youth, the stigma of societal outcasts, and the turmoil of loss into an intricately woven 3-part adventure.
Will Mary be consumed by her rage, or will she find a way out of the darkness? Mary and her unlikely companions come together in an unforgettable conclusion that contains all the surprises, humor, and warmth that author Carol Marshall is known for. You can read this novel simply for the pleasure of its wonderful story and unique collection of bizarre yet relatable characters. But each of the characters in Reading to Jane has something to teach us. This book is a journey to a meaningful existence and can point you in the direction of a more joyful and harmonious way to live. You won't want to miss Reading to Jane, available at Amazon.com.
Hey, what'd you think about that? Now, I think that has a kind of an interesting twist to it. There's a lot of interesting characters in that book, so it might be something worth taking a look at. I think let's move on and try. I'm going to go right away to another trailer that I'd like to share with you, and basically this is going to be our coffee break. And this is a book that is all about the healing properties of coffee and why you should drink more of it. So I'm a fairly avid coffee drinker myself. I don't know about you, but if you are a coffee lover, you might be interested to learn a little bit about the healing properties of coffee, and you can learn a little bit about that through this book. And let's take a look at this book trailer.
The Healing Powers of Coffee is percolating with information about the world's favorite new health food. This personable, reader-friendly, revolutionary book includes interviews with medical doctors, researchers, and coffee roasters who reveal the amazing healing powers of the delicious brew, served up with a lively jolt of past and present coffee culture. The path to better health and well-being is right under your nose. Whether you prefer regular decaf or flavored coffees, recent studies have shown that coffee's magical beans can reduce your risk of cancer, heart disease, and diabetes, as well as help you slim down and shape up. Wake up and smell the coffee, then serve yourself a steaming cup of comfort, filled with more antioxidants than tea or cocoa, and even more than renowned antioxidant-rich blueberries or oranges. In The Healing Powers of Coffee, you'll find the author's exclusive, eye-opening, warm and witty real-life stories, more than 50 home cures that fight brain fog, fatigue, headache, jet lag, low libido, moodiness, muscle pain, and stress. Plus, beauty and anti-aging treatments and eco-friendly household uses. Find out why this ancient elixir has gone from vice to virtue, and how to incorporate coffee in Mediterranean-style healthful recipes, like cappuccino biscotti, coffee chili, Java-style stuffed bell peppers, plus do-it-yourself espresso drinks. Brew a pot of your favorite blend, nature's surprising superfood, and enjoy reading The Healing Powers of Coffee. Available now at your favorite bookseller.
Hey, did that make you want to get up and make a pot of coffee, or maybe run out to Starbucks or something? But anyway, there's a great book about why you should be drinking more coffee. So if you're a coffee lover like I am, grab a cup, but do it after this show. The one thing I'd like to tell you about, as I've mentioned, this is our 2-year anniversary, our 24th episode of Author Showcase. We broadcast on Chicago Cable Channel 25 every month. The show is typically on several times during the week, but you can find us always on Thursday night at 8 p.m. And one of the things I wanted to sort of make clear is, what's the purpose of this show? People always ask me, well, do you do author interviews? And those of you who have seen the show will see that what we do is we let authors talk a little bit about their book. We give them about 1 or 2 minutes to tell us what their book is about and why people might enjoy reading the book that they've written. In addition to that, we show book trailers, several of which we've looked at already, and we'll look at a couple more before we go. But the concept really is this. I feel that what I want people to walk away from having watched Author Showcase is the opportunity to be exposed to a number of books that they may not otherwise have heard about. So it's sort of like being at a bookstore. You know how when you walk through a bookstore, you look around, there's all kinds of books around that that maybe you're interested in, and some that maybe you're not interested in. Something catches your eye, something doesn't. Or hopefully you see a book that you thought, wow, I didn't know I was interested in this at all. This looks pretty cool. I think I'll check it out. So that's what we're trying to do here at Author Showcase, is really just expose people in this 30-minute program to as many books as we can. If you look at past episodes, you'll see that we were at the Printers Row book fair, where we've done interviews with a number of authors over 2 days, and that event usually covers a couple of episodes. So go back and look at some of our episodes to see that. Recently, we were at Chicago Book Expo. We've been at the Romantic Times Book Fair. So there's a lot of events. Oh, the Irish IBAM, the Irish Book and Music fair that takes place at the Irish American Heritage Center here in Chicago. And I always meet a lot of good and interesting Chicago area writers at that particular event. So let's take a look at this particular book trailer that's done by good friend of mine, Ray Silverstein, who is a business entrepreneur in the area and wrote this really important book, The Small Business Survival Guide. So let's take a look at that right now.
Are you struggling to keep your small business alive? No need to call 911 because help is on the way. Whether your business is new or been around for years, the Small Business Survival Guide can help you succeed in a difficult economy and solve the problems that are sapping your resources and keeping you from the success you deserve. Author Ray Silverstein has had great entrepreneurial success as the owner of a multi-million-dollar manufacturing business and is guru to hundreds of small business owners, people faced with the same challenges you encounter every day. Through the Small Business Survival Guide, Ray will help you improve your odds of experiencing the same success he has experienced. This guidebook is filled with practical solutions to help you ride out the storm and position your business for future growth. No hocus pocus, just sound, proven small business principles. Timeless knowledge you can always use, whether you're dealing with a nationwide recession, an industry downturn, or issues and problems specific to your company. If your business is on life support, consider this a crash course in small business CPR. Ray is throwing you a lifeline. Grab the Small Business Survival Guide now and follow his path to success.
You know, every small business is in survival mode at some point or another in their business life. So there isn't a small business owner out there who can't get some good ideas from Ray and the Small Business Survival Guide. So check that out at authorsbroadcast.com or take a look at Ray's website. I want to thank you for being here today with us and sharing our 24th episode, our 2-year anniversary. Just keep in mind that a great way to take a cheap vacation is just sit back in an easy chair and enjoy a good book. So join us again next month at Author Showcase.